I'm Andrew Grayson and welcome to another video of Let's Talk Movies, and today we're going to be talking about the main man himself. It is Spider-Man. Recently seen the latest Marvel Cinematic Universe movie, which was Spider-Man Homecoming, and in this video I'm going to give you my thoughts and opinions and review the movie from when I saw it on Wednesday. Today is Friday, so I saw it 2 days ago, so I'm going to do a wee video on it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you some of my favourite points about it, some of the bad points about it, what I thought overall, how it fits into the MCU, all that kind of thing, and give you guys a general idea of how the movie is before you go, if you are going to go and see it. And I'm assuming if you're watching this video, then you will probably be going to go see it and you just want to get an idea of how it is. Generally, it is an absolutely brilliant film. I could not have been, as you know, obviously the big poster, jumper and all that. I'm a massive Spider-Man fan. So my mate said to me, "Oh, you're just judging it because obviously you love Spider-Man." But I think I would have been more critical of this film because of how much I like Spider-Man. I'll go through some quick points and then I'll get into more detail. So Tom Holland is fantastic. He's everything I wanted from a Spider-Man and a Peter Parker. Obviously, I would have much rather had the role, but he just beat me. Just got the role instead of me. But no, he's fantastic in it. I'll go into more detail later. Michael Keaton is one of the best villains that the MCU have done. So well done for Sony. And the tone of the film's great. Obviously, one of the main reasons why I like Tom Holland is I think he's only 21, so he does seem more of a teenager in this. I think he's playing a 15-year-old Peter Parker. He seems more of a teenager in high school rather than Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire in the previous Spider-Man films. They seemed like an older, well, they were, I think they were in their late 20s when they were playing Spider-Man. What are some of the other things? The use of the other characters from the MCU is done very well. A lot of people had concerns over the trailer that there was a lot of Tony Stark, a lot of Robert Downey Jr. Tony Stark's hardly in the film. He's used a lot in the film. Again, I don't want to go into spoilers, but he's used a lot in the film. But however, his actual screen time is quite minimal. And when he is on screen, he's brilliant. It's Robert Downey Jr. He's great. Jon Favreau comes back as the character Happy, Tony Stark's assistant. He's really good in it. And just overall, how they make it very clear that this Spider-Man movie is part of the MCU. It's integral to Michael Keaton's Vulture. That when you see how it's involved. What are some of the other general things that I liked about this film? It's very funny, such a funny film, and it's not forced. It feels, one of the biggest things I said about it coming out is it feels like high school humour. Like there's a joke in it where Peter keeps getting called Penis Parker, and I'm going, that's such a 15-year-old joke. Well, saying that I'm 25 and I would say that joke because that joke's funny to me. But it's teenage humour, and it fits the, oh, what's his name? Peter's friend in it. So bad. I can't remember his name. But he's pal in the trailer, obviously, the bigger guy that builds the Death Star and puts the mask on. He's fantastic in it. And I'm hoping he's going to be in, and I'm assuming he'll be in the further. There's nice wee twists in it. There's nice wee reveals in it as well. And there's two cutscenes, two after credit scenes. So there's one that do a wee bit of credits, and there's one that involves the film, and then there's a second one again, right at the very, very end. So if you like the post credit scenes, stay until the very end. So I'm going to go into more specifics now. Tom Holland. What I said about the previous Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire was geeky enough to be Peter Parker, but not cool enough to be Spider-Man. Whereas I think Andrew Garfield was cool enough to be Spider-Man, but not quite geeky enough to be Peter Parker. Tom Holland has a great balance. He does seem, he's more nerdy, or he's more geeky than nerdy. So like he is into like building Lego Death Stars, and he just comes across more of a geek, and he's really clever as well. His quips as well, he's very cheeky with Spider-Man. Some of his lines that he comes out with, obviously he's he's exactly what you would imagine a teenage person would be if they got superpowers. He's so over enthusiastic, he's so bright and happy, and he just wants to do good with his powers. And this is where you see the involvement in Tony Stark. Basically, Tony Stark's relevant in the whole film because Peter Parker wants to impress him. He wants to prove that he can be an Avenger, and you see that throughout the whole film. It's very prevalent in the rest of the film. As much as Tony Stark's not actually getting screen time, he's there because Peter Parker wants to impress him. The dynamic between Tom Holland and all the rest of his characters, his friend, you've got Zendaya, his love interest as well. But between him and Michael Keaton, I cannot say enough about this man. Obviously, everybody knows he's a fantastic actor, but him as a villain, he doesn't need to do much, and he's intimidating as fuck. There's one scene in particular. I'm not going to spoil this. There's one scene in particular. He hardly says anything, and I was sitting there going, "Whoa, this is dark, man." You'll know the scene when you watch it. But his character as well, the reason I think his villain character works, whenever you hear actors talk about villains, the villain doesn't see himself as the bad guy. The villain is doing just with what he believes to be right. So, maybe I'm not the Joker. The Joker's just a bit fucked off, as they say in The Dark Knight. Some people just like to say the world burn. So, but when you see Loki was trying to prove himself to his dad, but he done it the wrong way. Obviously, that made him out to be the villain. He's one of the great Marvel Cinematic Universe film. And Vulture's the very same. We see Vulture, or Michael Keaton's character, he's like a scrapyard guy. So he's working in the aftermath of what's happened in the Avengers, the attack on New York by all the Chitauri. And he's taking he's developing weapons from some of the alien tech, but he's doing this to justify being able to support his family. So you see this in his character. You see that he's doing what he has to give his family a better life. But obviously it's wrong, so Spider-Man needs to kick his arse. What else did I say I liked about the film? Very funny, the humour, great. Michael Keaton, great. The fact that they did link in the MCU, so you've got the Avengers Tower, you've obviously got Tony Stark and Happy, you've got the Chitauri that were involved. Another thing that I actually thought that I wouldn't like, but I did like, is the suit itself. You've obviously, if you've seen any of the trailers, you see that he's obviously got like a Jarvis in his suit that talks to him, and it's like, oh, you've got so many different web techniques and stuff like that. I didn't think I would like that, but I thought it gives it an absolutely different Spider-Man dynamic. When you think of Spider-Man, you just think him putting on a leotard and just going, but this gives him a lot more options, and it adds as well to Tom Holland's character, because a lot of the humour from his character is between him and his I think he ends up calling her Sharon, I think, but it's his Jarvis essentially. But yeah, there's not many bad points. I'd really struggle to see. I'll give you one bad point, and it's really being picky. Donald Glover is in the film. He's hardly in it, and I like Donald Glover, so I'd like to have seen more of him. And who I'm hoping he'll. You wouldn't just put somebody as good as Donald Glover in it for what he's in this film. Again, it's so hard not to spoil. He'll be in it. I think he'll be in it a lot more. I'm hoping he'll be in it a lot more, because I really like him as an actor, and I'm looking forward to seeing him in the new. Probably better not to talk about the Han Solo film, but I'm looking forward to seeing him as Lando in the new Han Solo, and he's playing Simba in the new Lion King film. But overall, this film is fantastic. It fits in the MCU. It's everything I wanted and more, especially Tom Holland and Michael Keaton. The two of those were the standout in the whole entire film. And honestly, I just walked out with a big smile. I laughed through the entire film. The story was great. It's what I said to some of my friends was, when you've got the Avengers and Ultron and stuff, and you see these events that are actually going to be world-ending events, and you think, right, the stakes are massive. The stakes aren't as high in this film between the villain and the hero, but there's still enough there that you're invested in the film, and then you care about what's going to happen, and that you want Spider-Man to prevail against the Vulture. And in the same sense, Vulture's such a good character. I was hoping. What I don't like about a lot of the films, and the MCU are quite good at it, because they're still, Red Skull is still within this universe, so is the Abomination. And for me, when I seen someone cast as Michael Keaton, I'm going, I hope he gets to stick around more. And again, I'm not going to spoil it, so even if he's not going to see him later on in films, what they've given us in Homecoming is a fantastic villain. He's absolutely amazing. He's just, Michael Keaton's awesome. Just go. But again, I'd thoroughly recommend this film. As much as I'm a big Spider-Man buff, I think seeing most reviews, most people are so positive about the film. Marvel do not put a step wrong. I'm hoping this means Sony are going to keep this rolling. I think there's only a 5-picture deal. I think you've got the 2 Avengers films coming up. Tom Holland's going to appear in. He's done Homecoming, which is 1 standalone. I think he's got 2 more standalone Spider-Man films in this current contract. But how successful this film's going to be, and how successful the next films are going to be, Sony and Marvel need to keep this going. They need to keep Tom Holland as this Spider-Man, because he's at an age where he can be Spider-Man for the next 10, 15, 20 years, the same way as Hugh Jackman has been Wolverine for 20 odd years. I'll rewatch Logan. Watch that film if you've not seen it. But Tom Holland, if he's willing, and why wouldn't he be? Because he's a fan of the MCU, and he's a fan. He wanted to be in the Avengers film, and he couldn't believe that he got to be it as Spider-Man. They need to keep him as long as they can. So Sony and Marvel need to get together and make this work. Film, it's one of my favourite of the year. I don't know if it's my top film of the year. Again, we're only halfway through, so there's still a lot of films. Hopefully I'm going to get more videos out thick and fast, because I'm going to try and get a Baby Driver one up. War of the Planet of the Apes is coming out as well, so there's a lot of films coming out in the next couple of months. I'm going to get videos. But as far as Spider-Man Homecoming goes, it's up there as probably my top 5 best of the year that I've seen, maybe even top 3. There isn't much wrong with it. It's a 9 out of 10 film. It's so good. The secondary cast, the main cast, everything about it. It's everything I wanted it to be, and it was more of a relief. I did enjoy it, don't get me wrong, I thoroughly enjoyed it, but the relief that came from me that they got Spider-Man right. So 9 out of 10, thoroughly recommend it. Go out this weekend. It's a really good date film as well, because you get the romance between Peter and the young lady as well, and it's a coming of age film. You see more Spider-Man trying to learn how to, or Peter Parker learning how to be Spider-Man. He's not just amazing and he's great. So it's a coming of age film, it's a comedy, it's a superhero film, it's fantastic. Get your asses out to the cinema and see this film. Right guys, let me know what you thought, put all your comments down below. I'm interested to find out if people want me to do spoiler videos, whether that be a second video where I get into spoilers, or if I leave a section at the end where I go deep into spoilers in this video, so it would extend it to maybe a 15-20 minute video. Whatever you think, comments down below if you're looking forward to seeing Spider-Man. If you've already seen it, let me know what you think of the movie. Share, subscribe, just let people know that I'm doing these videos if you're interested in films. Again, I'm doing this to get a discussion going about films. If you want to follow me on Twitter, I'm at AndolphTheGray, Gray, and I will see you next time.